Two people, same model, same question, wildly different answers. One of them types, "Summarize this contract," and gets back 3 vague sentences that miss the one clause that actually matters. The other person types 4 extra lines before the actual question, a role, an example, a think it through first, and gets back exactly what a lawyer would have flagged. Same AI, same day, same 3 seconds of typing that made all the difference. Here's the thing nobody tells you when you start building with LLMs. The model didn't get smarter between those 2 requests. The prompt did. And once you see that gap, you can't unsee it, because it means the ceiling on what your agent can do isn't the model, it's you. So today I want to hand you the 4 patterns that close that gap. Not tricks, not magic words, the actual documented techniques that OpenAI and Anthropic tell their own engineers to use. Zero shot, few shot, chain of thought, and the framing techniques around them. By the end of this, you'll know exactly why your prompts fail and exactly what sentence fixes them. Let's get into it. Zero shot versus few shot. Every prompt you write starts at the same fork. Are you going to just ask, or are you going to show? Asking is zero shot. You give the model an instruction and nothing else, and you trust it to figure out what you mean from everything it learned during training. Write a 1-sentence bedtime story about a unicorn. No examples, no format, just the ask. And honestly, for a huge number of tasks, that's enough. Modern models are good. You don't need to over-engineer a prompt for something simple. But watch what happens the moment the task gets specific, the moment you need a particular tone, a particular structure, a particular way of categorizing something that isn't obvious from the instruction alone. Say you're building an agent that reads customer reviews and tags them positive, neutral, or negative. Zero shot, you'll get inconsistent results. The model might call a sarcastic review positive because the words sound nice. That's when you show instead of tell. You give it 2 or 3 labeled examples right in the prompt. A clearly positive review tagged positive, a backhanded one tagged negative, and suddenly the model locks onto the pattern you actually meant. That's few-shot prompting. You're not teaching it something new, you're just pointing at the one thing out of everything it already knows that you actually want it to do right now. And here's the part worth sitting with. OpenAI's own documentation frames this as a ladder, not a binary choice. Start zero shot. If the output isn't precise enough, add examples. Go few shot. If even that isn't reliable enough for production, that's when you start thinking about fine-tuning. Most people jump straight to complicated solutions for a problem that 2 or 3 good examples would have fixed in 30 seconds. The lesson here isn't always use examples. It's this. If your prompt is failing, before you rewrite the instructions for the 5th time, ask whether you've actually shown the model what you want or just described it. Chain of thought. Now here's a failure mode that examples alone won't fix. Ask a model a multi-step math or logic problem. Something like, a train leaves the station, picks up more passengers here, drops off some there, how many are left? And ask it to just blurt out the final number. It will often get it wrong, not because it can't do the arithmetic, because it jumped straight to an answer without laying out the steps first. This is the single most counterintuitive thing about working with these models. Making them slower actually makes them more accurate. When you ask a model to reason step by step before it gives you the final answer, the accuracy on multi-step problems jumps dramatically. That's chain of thought prompting, and it's not a hack. It's one of the most studied techniques in the entire field. Here's what it looks like in practice. Instead of asking a question and taking the first thing that comes back, you explicitly ask the model to think it through, sometimes even wrapping that reasoning in tags so you can separate the scratch work from the final answer the user actually sees. Anthropic's own prompting documentation for Claude describes exactly this pattern. Use structured tags to keep the reasoning separate from the output, so your agent can think without that thinking leaking into what the user reads. And there's a nuance here that separates people who've actually built agents from people who've only read about them. It's tempting to write out a rigid 10-step checklist and force the model to follow it exactly. But the more current guidance, again straight from Anthropic, is that a general instruction like think this through carefully often outperforms a handwritten, overly prescriptive set of steps. The model's own reasoning, given room to breathe, frequently finds a better path than the one we would have scripted for it. So the pattern is simple. For anything involving multiple steps, math, logic, or a decision that depends on other decisions, don't ask for the answer. Ask for the thinking, then the answer. Your agent gets dramatically more reliable for the cost of one extra sentence. Role prompting, giving your agent an identity. Let's talk about a one-line change that shows up in almost every production system prompt you'll ever read. Picture the same request. How do I sort a list of dictionaries by a key? Sent to a completely blank assistant versus sent to an assistant whose system prompt says, you are a helpful coding assistant specializing in Python. Same question, but the second one comes back tighter, more idiomatic, more confident in its assumptions about what you actually need, because you've told it which hat to wear before it opened its mouth. That's role prompting, and Anthropic's own documentation puts it almost exactly this bluntly. Setting a role in the system prompt focuses the model's behavior and tone for your use case, and even a single sentence makes a real difference. Not a paragraph, not a personality Bible, one sentence, doing the job of narrowing an infinitely general model into the specific expert you need for this conversation. This is instruction framing at its purest. You're not just telling the model what to do, you're telling it who it is while it does it. And that identity shapes everything downstream. The vocabulary it reaches for, the level of detail it assumes you want, even which of its own instincts it trusts most. A senior security engineer persona will flag things a generic assistant persona won't even notice. If you remember one thing from this section, let it be this. Before you write a single instruction, decide who's answering. The role comes first, the task comes second. Negative prompting. Now here's the pattern almost everyone gets backwards when they're starting out, and it's the one that official documentation is surprisingly blunt about. Your instinct, the first time a model does something you don't want, is to tell it to stop. Don't use Markdown. Don't be too casual. Don't mention pricing. It feels natural. That's how you'd correct a person. But models don't process a negative instruction the way you'd hope. Telling a model what not to do still puts that exact concept front and center in its attention, and it doesn't reliably fill the gap with what you actually wanted instead. Anthropic's prompting guidance is direct about this. Tell the model what to do instead of what not to do. Their example is almost funny in how simple the fix is. Instead of writing, "Do not use Markdown in your response," you write, "Your response should be composed of smoothly flowing prose paragraphs." Same intent, completely different result, because now the model has a positive target to aim at instead of a list of landmines to avoid while guessing at the actual goal. This one small reframe, description instead of prohibition, is one of the highest leverage edits you can make to any prompt that isn't behaving. Next time you catch yourself writing "don't," stop and ask, what does the output look like when it's right? Write that sentence instead. When prompts fail, the debugging instinct. So you've got zero shot and few shot, you've got chain of thought, you've got role framing, you've got positive instructions instead of prohibitions, and your agent still gets it wrong sometimes. Good, that's normal. Here's how you actually debug it instead of just rewriting the whole prompt from scratch and hoping. First question, is the instruction actually specific or does it just sound specific? Keep it short means nothing to a model. How short? A sentence, a paragraph, 3 bullet points? Vague adjectives are one of the most common silent failure points, and the fix is always the same. Replace the adjective with a number, a format, or an example. Second question, did you separate the instructions from the content? A wall of text where your instructions and the data you're asking about blur together confuses the model about which part is the command and which part is just information to read. Structure fixes a shocking number of weird outputs. Clear sections, delimiters, anything that draws a hard line between Here's the instruction, and here's the thing the instruction applies to. Third, are you asking for too much reasoning in one shot for a simple task, or too little for a hard one? If a task is genuinely multi-step and you skipped chain of thought, that's usually your bug. If a task is genuinely simple and you're over-engineering a 10-line prompt for it, that's costing you tokens and often costing you accuracy too. The engineers who get good at this fast aren't the ones who memorize the perfect prompt. They're the ones who develop the instinct to ask, which of these levers haven't I pulled yet, the moment something goes wrong. Here's what I want you to walk away with. 0 shot when the task is simple. Few shot the moment you need consistency. Chain of thought the moment reasoning has more than one step. A role in one sentence before anything else. And instructions written as, do this, never, don't do that. 5 small decisions. That's the entire gap between the prompt that gets a shrug and the prompt that gets exactly what you needed. And here's why this episode actually matters more than it looks like it does. Everything we do from here forward, every tool call, every agent loop, every multi-agent system later in the series, is built on top of a prompt. If the foundation is sloppy, the agent built on it is sloppy too, no matter how clever the architecture around it is. Next episode, we stop talking about prompts in isolation. We take everything from these first 3 episodes, the agent loop, how the model actually thinks, and everything you just learned here, and we build your first real agent from scratch in Python. A persona-driven Q&A bot with temperature tuning, few-shot examples, and chain-of-thought reasoning, all working together in actual running code. If today's episode changed the way you write prompts, that next one is where you'll feel it pay off. I'll see you there.